Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for yet another episode of Atari Twilight, but on a Saturday. That's madness. It's sheer, unadulterated madness. We are here for a bonus episode with the writer's room of Atari Twilight 88 here with us today. So, I will shill you as per normal. If you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, please go hit that Patreon link down below and join us, as all of these fine people have that you see before you. If you want to support the channel in other ways, you can hit that subscription down below for Twitch, and you can see on the bottom right-hand corner that corruption bar, when that bar fills, Greg gets to do whatever the hell he wants to these wonderful players that absolutely deserve it for doing it to us over and over again. That being said, I will turn things over to Greg to bring us back to the world of Garrett, Maryland.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. And before we get back to Garrett and back to 1988, I would just like to thank all of these lovely players and collaborators that have helped me out through the course of the summer, create many fun things for Garrett, Maryland. And in so doing, continue to create fun things for Garrett, Maryland by creating characters to play and live there. And so before we can get into there, the applause go out from across the decades, but especially the 1980s. And I have one mechanical issue that I want to just get out of the way. I want to just get this out of the way before we get into the actual meat of the adventure. And I'm going to ask, Scarlett, I'm going to give you an option. You may roll for leadership. As you are the only one with points in leadership, you may roll. A failure will not give you a condition. You have a free roll. You can, of course, push the roll if you'd like. And if you fail it again, then I would give you a condition. But just to show you what the positives are as well, any success you get in leadership will give you 2 extra dice that you can give to any of the other 3. It's the role of a leader. It's the good and it's the bad.
I'll definitely roll it.
All right.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh,
Hey, let's go.
All right. So with 3 successes to start off our leadership role, Scarlett, that's going to give you 6 dice that at any time you can give to the other 3. You cannot use them for yourself. That is also the plight of a good leader. But you have 6 dice in a pool that you may now hand out at any time to anybody that you think needs it. So hold on to it. And before we go in, I will let everybody know that conditions are real in this session. We're going to be playing with a stripped down version of the rules, but also something that hinders as well as helps. So keep that in mind whenever you push a roll or opt to use your pride, which is an automatic success. It's a long adventure. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. Everybody, it is 11:33 a.m. Saturday, October 8th, 1988. It is 53 degrees and sunny. It is an autumn in Garrett, Maryland, and there is football to be played. So if you could go to the Spotify playlist, where's that Spotify playlist? Disembodied Voice Mike, if you could put it up into our Twitch chat, you will all see that at the top of the Spotify playlist is Nothing But a Good Time by the little band called Poison. Start that up. And this is actually what is being played right now in the field and through the speakers during what is a junior varsity football game. The cheerleaders in slow motion as Bret Michaels roars out his vocals and as CeCe DeVille wahs his guitar. And as all of this is happening, parents, grandparents, and other students are drinking coffee and hot chocolate and cheering on their respective teams. Some are dressed in the green and white of Edgar Allan Poe Middle School, others in the purple and black of the opposing Frost Ridge. Heather and Ricky, you are currently in the stands. I would simply ask you to describe your characters and ask one thing. Are you sitting together?
Well, yes, I think Heather would be sitting with Ricky. Absolutely. Heather is, she's a tall and kind of gangly girl. She's got these like really thick round glasses, and I want you to think about like Barb from Stranger Things, like really, really big 80s glasses. And even though the weather is pretty fair, she's just swamped in oversized black clothes. And in this regard, think about like Ali Sheedy's character from The Breakfast Club. But she's hanging really, really close to her friend, and her posture is really kind of closed off, which is pretty typical for her. Overall, it's like she's trying to hide here in the middle of the stands, but it just makes her stand out more, right? The black clothes and everything else. So
Absolutely. So as the hiding in plain sight may or may not be succeeding, let's go over to Ricky. Ricky, my friend, what do you look like? And are you in fact sitting with Heather, as this is an agreement that must be reached?
Yeah, Ricky would definitely be sitting with Heather. Ricky's pretty tall. He's 5'11" for his age. Quite a slender build. He's got a pretty dark tan because he spends a lot of time outdoors. Brown hair, green eyes. Sitting in a t-shirt, pair of jeans, and a pair of steel-toed work boots. There he is.
Very good. Very good. So as you are all sitting here, to give you what your characters would see, a timeout has been called, and both of the respective teams have gone to their sidelines here at the end of this very contested competition. But Ricky, as you look down, you see Fred Alt, who is the owner of the Feed and Breed, the station, the feed store, and like the granary and agricultural station where Ricky works. To describe Fred, he dresses differently than everyone else. He has the dust of hard work that always seems to cling about him. He has a long beard without a mustache, and he travels around the area in horse and buggy. You can see without the need for a role that some of the children that are near to him are already giggling, kind of pointing, making fun. Fred sees you in the stands and he waves. And as he kind of waves and gestures towards you, one of the other students, a boy by the name of Ollie Wright, he is, a merciless brute. He has overdeveloped muscles and underdeveloped empathy. He's starting to turn to see who Fred is waving to. He hasn't seen you yet, but if you wave, he will. You know that Ollie's not one to let anything go, and Heather is right beside you. You know that there's some type of bullying situation, she is likely to be drug into it. My friend, what do you do?
Ooh. Is anyone sitting next to me the other side? So if I slid away from Heather and then waved, that she wouldn't get dragged into it?
This is a big game, and I'm going to say that you are all, pardon the expression, cheek to cheek here on the metal stands of the bleachers. So unfortunately, you couldn't pull far enough away to have Heather avoid being kind of roped in.
I think Ricky's generally just a friendly guy, not so much thinking about the consequences. He's pretty used to the other kids making fun of him during the day, that he would just throw up a hand, not a overly exaggerated wave, but just a acknowledgement of the greeting.
Are you trying to get away with waving but not making it obvious? Are you trying to sneak a wave, I should say?
I don't think he would think to do that, to be fair. He would just, the standard generic, yeah, I'm waving, but yeah.
Okay. So as you wave, Ollie's eyes go over his left shoulder and take you in. As soon as he sees you waving and looks back down to Fred, who Fred smiles and waves and then turns to talk to a member of his family that he came here with, Ollie yells up at you. Hey, Dickie, your dad's here to take you home. Better leave now. It's going to take you all day to go 5 miles. Hope you brought some apples to fill up the car. And his friends start to laugh. What do you do?
I think Ricky would just shrug it off and just keep sitting and ignore it for the most part. He's used to it.
Oh my God, he's such a jerk.
Aren't they all?
Well, most of them.
Could do with an apple. I could throw it at him.
Let me look at my bag. Maybe I have. No, no apples.
Everybody, give me 1 second. I have to reset my headphones. They have cut out on me. Give me 1 second. Okay, I should be back. Go ahead and say something, everybody. Anybody?
Hello.
Hello.
Say
There we go.
something.
Thank you very much. Sorry about that, everyone. I got a little interference from my phone, which I pitched over to the side. So yeah, what is your plan now? As Ollie yelled this up to you, you were going back and forth about him being a jerk, and then I was cast into the void. What was your plan?
Carry on trying to enjoy the game and ignore him for the most part.
Okay. So as you kind of shrink back down, what I need you to do for me is roll an empathy. Both of you, please, as you try to kind of figure out a way to diffuse this jerk while the rest of the game plays out. Okay, Heather, with 2 successes, here's how it works for you. You're able to, you're aware of everything that's going on, but Ollie is focusing specifically on Ricky. And you just as you are trying to concentrate on the game, Ricky, you just keep hearing, hey, Dickie, do you have a phone or a can with a string in it? You know, just back and forth, just this barrage of insults as this asshole decides to ruin the end of the game with you. And so as we move from the confrontation here in the stands to the sideline of this athletic endeavor, what we have now is I would like for my 2 football players, Scarlett and JD, to roll me an investigate here to see if you hear anything that's going on. All right. So each of you are able to hear, bake in a little bit more for JD as you're sitting there. And to describe the situation, this is the end of the game. There are 12 seconds left. It's the final timeout. Edgar Allan Poe has the ball and they're threatening around the 40-yard line, but they're down by 5. So this is a touchdown or get out situation. And as the final timeout is called, the coach, Ray Cook, is grabbing face masks along the sideline. This is the 80s where this type of behavior was supported. He's grabbing face masks and praising his wildly mediocre starting quarterback, Tom Hoffman. Tom is standing there, cock of the walk. His uniform is pretty pristine as his offensive line has been keeping him upright for this game. The second string quarterback, though, is quiet. He's a shorter boy. Unfortunately, he's also named Tom, so the team has nicknamed him Hanks instead, and then basically forgotten him. Jesse or JD, your uniform shows sweat, grass stains, and the dirt of a war waged. You have been playing the majority of this game. You are a wide receiver. You have been beaten up, basically. It's been a tough one. Scarlett, your uniform is pristine. As the third string quarterback, you have achieved the impossible as the only girl in Maryland to be on a team at this level, but you have yet to actually be placed in a game. But Scarlett, as this is going down and as the coach is trying to get everybody fired up, Jesse, as you witness and can more so than Scarlett, you can see what's going on in the stands with Ricky and Heather, distracting you a bit from the pep rally that you're getting here on the side. Scarlett, I need you to roll an investigate or an empathize, please. Okay, so as you have been watching the game from the sideline here, you have noticed that they're setting the quarterback up. You can see that the linebackers have been playing on his blind side, trying to get the offensive line to bite. You are convinced that they are going to blitz him this play, and he does not know that it's coming. As they're all sitting there and the yelling's going on, JD, as you're looking up into the stands, Scarlett, you got one shot here. The coach is in front of you. What do you do?
What every football player would do who's watching the game. I literally, if I'm standing there, literally start shouting, "Watch the blitz! Watch the blitz!"
And Tom Hoffman looks at you as if, someone's shouting from the stands, right? And he just kind of waves off. He doesn't care at all about what you're saying. He doesn't. And the coach, for a second, Coach Cook kind of picks his eye up, and as they're kind of close to the sideline, having pulled away, not necessarily in the middle of the field in the huddles, they've moved over for the timeout. He thinks about it for a second, but says nothing to Tom as Tom goes back out. He just turns to Jesse, and JD, as you're still looking in the stands at Heather and Ricky, grabs your face mask and pulls it down in front of him as if to get your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Use that speed, son. Corner route and hit the afterburners. Tom will get you the ball."
Yeah, and I just say, "Yes, coach," and I just run out and get in position.
And as Coach Cook, as you all rush back out, the first string team takes the field. Coach Cook stands on the sideline and walks back and forth. He's got that green polo shirt on that is 2 sizes too small for his belly, and he's got the white, like, super short athletic shorts. And as he peacocks around, he says, "Get out there and win, goddammit! Losers have no place in Valhalla." Because, as an asterisk, Greg always thinks that football coaches sound like somebody from Mad Max. It's just, mediocre, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you all get out there, the sides take shape. Green, Edgar Allan Poe on offense. Purple, Frost Ridge on defense. Fourth quarter, 12 seconds left. No timeouts, down by 5. Edgar Allan Poe has the ball. Tom Hoffman drops back. Jesse, roll me a move roll.
Here we go.
And I'm definitely giving him one of my leadership dice.
There we go. First
Okay.
leadership die.
So I'm like, "Go, Jesse!"
For the bonus dice, do I just put 1 then?
Yes, please.
Okay. Here we go. At least 1.
Okay, yeah. So that's where the leadership comes into play right there.
Yeah.
So as Scarlett, as you're yelling, Jesse, you hit the afterburners. And describe this. Is Jesse fast? Is he?
Yeah, I think he's decently fast. He's probably amongst like the top 5, maybe even the top 3 fastest on the team. But he's not super tall, which makes it hard to be a wide receiver. Usually length helps a lot. But I think what happens is as I break out of my my stance, I give him like a shake, like I'm going inside, like I'm doing a post route, but I fade out like coach told me. So I'm running on the sideline, and I think I have him beat.
And you do. You see that the defender buys it, and you see the defender kind of stop for a second. And as soon as you get somebody's legs crossed, you've got your shot, and you just go full stride as you're running down there. I need Heather to roll me an awareness from the stands, as unfortunately Ricky is too distracted with Ollie's taunts to kind of engage in the final moments here.
Awareness?
Oh, investigate. What? Too many systems, Greg.
Go. Did it go through? Oh, there we go.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, so as far as Heather is concerned, both Heather and Scarlett, who's already identified this, see this happen. You see that, as foretold, one of Frost's linebackers peels off of the blind side, creeps around, gets real low, and has been setting up the left tackle for the majority of the game. The tackle buys it. Wide open shot to Tom Hoffman. But Tom looks over his left shoulder and sees the rusher coming. He has a chance. If he holds the ball a beat longer, he'll give JD a better chance to grab it, but he'll open himself up to a hit. He fails to do that. He throws it quickly. He launches it into the air, making it almost impossible for JD to catch. and then he crumples, saving himself from the hit as the linebacker sails over him in what would have been a crunching rib shot. Tom protects himself and exposes his wide receiver. JD, as you're running, and Scarlett, Heather, you all witness this, you can see that what happened behind the line of scrimmage, and now JD, as you're moving, I need you to roll me another move roll, please. As you kind of break inside, the safety is starting to move, and the ball is thrown in such a way that you are being set up for a hell of a hit.
Mm-hmm. All right, here it is. Do I want to re-roll it?
You can
no,
push.
I'm not going to. Yeah.
Okay. So as you move, the safety closes directly in on you. The ball is still somehow, your speed has carried you to the point where you still have a puncher's chance at this. I need you to roll me a force roll as you launch into the air in full extension.
Cool. 1.
Somehow, you catch the ball on the tips of your fingers. You almost flick it back towards you. And as it's twirling and coming back towards your helmet, you move both of your hands to get it before you hit the ground. And that's when the safety crashes into your side. The ball goes flying. You go helicoptering out of bounds. Some of the cheerleaders actually jump out of the way. Scarlett, you see JD just get lit on the outside of the sideline where he was running. And you hear the entire deflation of the crowd, at least those that were cheering for Edgar Allan Poe, as the clock ticks down to 00. Everybody, I'm going to give you a chance to do whatever you would like. Heather, you witnessed this entire thing. You saw that JD has been blasted. He's on your side of the field where the bleachers are. JD, for the purposes of what just happened, you don't have a condition, but you are currently bell rung as you are on the kind of ground.
Yeah, I think I probably just, after I finally stopped from, rolling or whatever, I probably roll over into like a child's pose kind of position, like just kind of crumpled up and holding my helmet like this on the ground. Pretty shook up by it.
Yeah.
Heather jumps up out of her seat to see if she can peer over the crowd to see if he's okay. She wants to. What does she see?
At this point, between you and JD would be the cheerleaders that are standing there. Everybody's starting to mill about as well, too. You can see that the majority of the team, I will leave Scarlett for a second, but they're lining up to shake hands. JD forgotten.
So Heather is going to try to make her way through the cheerleaders to get to JD's side, as it doesn't seem like anybody's on their way to help him.
Okay. Let's stick with Heather for a second. Ricky, you're able to extricate yourself from Ollie at this point, as Ollie was momentarily distracted by violence, which he likes. He saw JD get smashed and stood up and clapped. Now, he goes to school with all of you, but he clapped for the hit that was levied against his classmate. Ricky, what would you like to do? Are you going to try to get out of the situation, or totally up to you what you'd like to do?
I'm assuming the crowd is now moving. The game's over. They're heading out. Everybody's getting
standing up. Yeah.
Ricky would try to blend into the crowd, although he's taller than, if there's mostly kids, he's taller than a lot of them. But he would probably go with Heather to try and head towards, just to check on JD, head down.
Sure. Roll me a sneak as you kind of look to blend in, and I'll give you a bonus die here for the crowd. The crowd's acting as an item here to help you kind of hide. Nice.
There you go.
Here's what I'm going to allow you to do. Not only are you able to sneak, I'm going to allow you to bank a die for any sneak roll I ask you to make later. So if you have to make a sneak roll in the future, you may have one of these successes to use at a later date.
Perfect.
So yeah, you're able to take your height and kind of hunch over and get out of the crowd. Heather, as you move and kind of get down into the field area, one of the cheerleaders by the name of Peggy Swanson, she stands up and she said, she sees you coming. We lost. It's not a funeral.
Why do you have to be such a jerk? Look, I'm never mind. And she just waves her off and goes forward to JD.
One of the other cheerleaders says, I'm sorry, did she have something to say? Are you going out with Dusty Dicky?
What does it matter? Just leave me alone. And she ignores them and heads to JD.
As you move towards JD, you hear one of them say, I don't think I've ever heard her speak. I guess she can. She said something. I didn't hear it though. And they walk off. You get to JD. JD, Heather is the first face that you see. Unfortunately, there are 3 Heathers that are currently with you.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I wish I would have caught that. Back kind of hurts a little bit, actually.
I mean the ball doesn't the ball doesn't matter as much as you do. Can you sit up?
Yeah, and I kind of like roll over to my my back, and I like reach out my hand to get helped up.
We're going to cut right there, and we're going to go back about 20 seconds, 30 seconds to the sideline. Scarlett, JD has just gotten destroyed. And as the team comes over to the sideline, Tom Hoffman, in his relatively pristine uniform, the first thing he says, he yells towards JD, nice job, asshole. You should have caught that.
Shut up, Tom. And she like gives him a look. You totally were not watching the reads back there. That the guy just came around Joe there, and you messed up. You messed up. That's on you. That's not on JD.
Roll me a charm to see if you can slip. This is not you're not charming him. You're using your powers of persuasion to see if you can elicit something from him.
Damn.
He looks around and everybody kind of buddies up to Tom, and they say, hey, Tom threw that ball perfect. It was JD's fault. He missed it. He got scared, got worried.
You looked too far down the field. First of all, you heard the footsteps behind you and you got scared. You just tossed the ball without even looking to protect yourself. Are you scared to get hit now, Tom?
You can see that Tom knows exactly what you're talking about. And he deflects away from that by yelling towards Peggy. Hey, Peggy, you got any extra pom-poms? And he indicates Scarlett as they giggle and walk off to shake hands with the other team. Hanks, who is the second string quarterback, the shorter boy that unfortunately is also named Tom, walks up beside you, looks up and says, I saw it too. And he walks off.
Yeah. She kind of like just frustrated, like unclips her helmet and pulls it off, and then she's gonna go over to help JD.
Okay, so that's right when you get to right when Heather is pulling up JD is when both Ricky and Scarlett kind of reach JD as well. So the 4 of you are together for the first time. Obviously, 2 of our players still outfitted in football uniforms, but the 4 of you are together. What would you like to do?
Yeah,
Sorry.
just once I get up, I would just say to Heather, thanks for coming and grabbing me. I appreciate that. And then I would look to Scarlett and just be like, why doesn't he ever just pay attention? I was wide open. He threw that ball like shit.
He just has his blinders on. He can't think past his face mask.
Look at his
Time and
jersey.
time again.
It's clean. Look at ours, or look at mine.
I'm
Just
sorry,
getting destroyed
man.
out here.
I don't even know why you play this game.
Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, because this is not a victory, go to your Spotify playlist and please queue up the Pet Shop Boys. What have I done to deserve this? So, in the 10 to 15, 20, 30 minutes after the game, what do you all do? And I have a corruption bar that I'm going to put into play here very soon.
Well, I'm assuming Scarlett and JD need to go back to the locker room take out all their gear, change, get yelled at by the coaches, which still happens in current day.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Never gets screamed at.
It's not as overt anymore, like the actual physical grabbing and stuff at like that level,
Yeah.
but it is not gone.
Yeah, so they'll probably come out, like Scarlet will probably one of the last ones out, and just like carrying her helmet and her shoulder pads, and just kind of like a little deflated. But
Yeah, JD, you have to put up with either complete silence, nobody talking to you, or like people walking by and like dropping their helmet, like, oh, I dropped my helmet. I better pick it up. Butterfingers. I mean, oh. Just juvenile things.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking from experience, of course.
Yeah. I think JD would probably he feels bad too, even though it could have been a better throw, he still feels bad that we lost. He probably wouldn't say anything until the quarterback said something to him, and I would make a remark about his jersey being spotless.
Sure. Okay. Roll me a charm here. This is meant to be like sarcastic and perhaps a bit intimidating, correct?
Yeah, it's supposed to be more like kind of like you could have thrown a better throw, but you decided not to get hit, and you let me get hit instead. We could have won that game.
Sure.
Like kind of standing up for myself. Yeah. Charm roll.
Yeah.
There it is. Makes
He
sense.
Gets up in your face. Confrontate you're calling into question his talents. But as soon as you mention his uniform, the running back, who is equally as blown up as you are, just walks by and says, "Yeah, your mom's not even going to have to wash it, Tommy." And that's in and of itself not bad, but it's enough to diffuse the situation. And you get one of those looks like next time. But you're able to quit the scene without any type of physical altercation.
Cool.
All right, Heather, Ricky, you're, I'm assuming, waiting for these two to come back out? Okay.
Yes.
Both of you roll me an investigate. Okay, so we have 3 for Heather. Heather, here's how we're going to do this. Just like Ricky has a sneak roll that's coming to him, a bonus sneak die, you have a bonus investigate die if you need it in the future. So make sure you kind of write that down, that you've got a +1 to something. As you're sitting there, the wind picks up. And it's already cold. It's already low 50s here, but the wind threatens to drop it even lower for this time of year. And Heather, you hear clear as day, carried along this wind as if it were like a concert or an outdoor orchestra in a nearby park, brought to you by the crisp air. You hear, "I was standing. You were there. 2 worlds collided. Help. Help. Heather, help me."
Is it a voice I recognize?
You don't recognize it, no.
Ricky, did you hear that?
Hear what?
There's someone's calling for help. Heather's gonna look around and see if she sees anyone.
You don't see anybody that matches with a 3 investigate. No one's even looking at you all. Unfortunately, this is sort of your lot in life, as you're either being bullied or ignored. But the 2 of you, and we'll say that, Ricky, as soon as you kind of concentrate, you hear something, but it sounds more like a whisper from 2 rooms away. You can barely hear something, but Heather, for you, it repeats clear as a bell. "I was standing, you were there, 2 worlds collided. Help, help, Heather, help me."
Heather's gonna look in her backpack to see if her Walkman is playing, and to see if she can hear it through the headphones. No.
When you put the headphones up and kind of cancel out the outside noise,
Mhm.
even though, back in the day, Walkmans weren't necessarily known for their noise dampening, but when you put them on, as the foam kind of touches the outside of your ear, it's clearer, crisper. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided. Help, help. Heather, help me.
She's gonna stop the tape. Is the tape even playing?
Tape was not playing, no.
Hey Ricky, hey, listen to this.
Can I hear anything?
You listen for a second, and you're about to remark to Heather that it's not on. There was no play hit or anything like that. And you hear, I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided. Help, help. Ricky, help me.
Ricky would then obviously check the main part of the Walkman, see that it's not playing. Yeah, that's look at Heather, and that's freaky. What?
Yeah, it's not even playing. Is it receiving? Is it a radio? Sometimes mechanical things receive radio transmissions, right?
I mean, this
Like,
shouldn't.
have you heard the story of the people with braces?
But this shouldn't. He'll look it over, pop the tape out. Does it still just keep repeating?
Yeah, but it seems to be, if you compare the two of you, it seems to be on a, for lack of a better phrase, a quicker repetition for Heather and a slower one for Ricky. Heather's might repeat 3 times a minute, yours barely 2.
But that just could be because Ricky's slow. He's only got one in mind. He's not the brightest kid.
I don't even know who to help. Have you ever heard of anything like this?
No, that's what I say. I mean, this doesn't receive radio broadcasts. But then, why is it saying my name?
No, it's saying my name.
No.
Yeah. Wait, you're hearing your name?
Yeah, it's saying Ricky, help me.
Okay, somebody's got to be playing a prank on us. Let's look around. Somebody, if they're playing a prank on us, they'd be here watching.
Yeah, they'd have to be watching to know that we're swapping the headphones over.
Right. So Heather's going to start looking around.
As you look around, you see JD and Scarlett walk up. Nobody else, though.
JD,
Hey,
Scarlett, hey,
Hey.
Heather is looking a little panicked.
What's going on?
Hey, listen to this. And she's going to hand over the headset. Scarlett, help me look around.
What's wrong?
I think somebody's trying to play a prank.
I'll throw the headset on when she hands it over.
I'll walk over to Heather and be like, I don't get what's going on, but I'll follow you.
Yeah, so as the other 3 are looking around, JD, as you put the Walkman headset on, you hear, I was standing, you were there, 2 worlds collided. Help, help, JD, help me.
Nah, I'll take him off. What is this? What are you guys doing?
I don't know, but did they say your name?
Yeah.
It said my
JD.
name. It said my name.
And my name.
What? Let me see. And she holds her hand out.
Yeah, hand him over to Scarlett.
And she'll put it on.
As soon as you put them on, Scarlett, you hear, I was standing, you were there, 2 worlds collided. Help, help, Scarlett, help me.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Who's
say your
that?
name?
Yeah. Scarlet, help. Who is it? Where did you get this? And
It,
she
it
looks.
just it
Is
just
there a
started
tape
making.
inside?
Well,
There-
it could be picking something up, right? Like radio or someone.
That's what I thought, but we all hear our own names, so they'd have
Yeah.
to be watching us,
Fuck.
or I don't know how that works.
It
And
keeps
it's not
repeating.
playing.
Yeah. I would like look around and see if I can see anybody like peering around a corner or something, you know, trying
Twisting
to
a
watch
mustache or something. No,
yeah,
there's
exactly.
nobody.
Yeah.
Those kids will never find out.
Yeah.
No, you don't see. I'll give you a free one because we've had some good investigates so far. There's nobody. Everybody is kind of pulled out of this area. No one's congregating anymore. You don't see anybody looking at you all. Who has the headset right now? Heather, this is yours, or does
Scarlet
I
holding
still
it.
have it.
then Scarlet, you would hear, and Heather, you would feel the tape player start, and you'd see the spool begin to take the tape across the reader. Scarlet, you hear something from inside the headphones now.
What do I hear?
When you pull them up, you hear over and over again, Castle Grayskull, Castle Grayskull, Castle Grayskull, Castle Grayskull.
Whoa. Now it's saying something else. Castle Grayskull? Do we know what that is? We know what that is, right?
You would know that the local youth of the area refer to an old loop building in the north, one that was abandoned by the company and the corporation for unknown reasons. But because of its position on a ridge a couple miles north and its overlook and kind of ominous nature, the kids have started calling it Castle Grayskull.
It's got to be a prank. It's saying Castle Grayskull now. And she will hand it to the closest person.
Well, that's that loop building, right? The old one.
Yeah.
So, it could be coming from there, I guess.
As you
loop
kind of,
message.
yeah, as you're all talking about this, and as you're kind of handing off the headphones and kind of, all of a sudden from that wind that was blowing from the north, you all now hear your own names. JD, Ricky, Heather, Scarlet, help me, Castle Grayskull, help me. And just almost like a swarm, this cacophony that blows around like autumnal leaves, it touches each of you, and you can almost see the wind as it's blowing north. And they're just the geometry of the edges of the old building in the north against that ridge, you can see Castle Grayskull.
Gotta go, I guess.
Go? What do you mean go?
I mean, somebody needs help.
Yeah,
Where
they were
else are we
asking
gonna
for
go?
help.
Two worlds collided. I mean, maybe it's something happening with the loop. It's
think-
weird.
If we went out, let's be honest, we're all just going to get annoyed. People are going to moan at you, JD, for a bad throw. Ollie's probably going to throw an apple at me. Like,
Screw
Let's go
those
then.
guys. Let's
exactly.
go. And she's
guys-
gonna put her shoulder pads in her helmet, and she's gonna strap it to her bike, so it's all ready to go.
I'm going to take some liberties here, Scarlet, G, if you will. You strap the shoulder pads to the front of the bike. So, keeping with the Mad Max theme, it looks like your bike is now wearing shoulder pads. Is that cool? And like the
Yeah,
helmet's in
yeah.
front, almost like a figurehead on a ship,
Yeah.
just sticking out. Okay. I need it for me, I just need that. Okay.
Because how it works, like the shoulder pads will come, and then you put your helmet through the bottom,
Mhm.
so then you
Yeah.
carry it by the face mask, and the shoulder pads hang off. So
Right. All right. So you deck this all out, and you all are riding north then towards Castle Grayskull. Okay. Everybody, because this is another montage, a traveling montage, if you would go to your Spotify playlist and go down to a little Duran Duran, Union of the Snake. One of my all-time favorite songs. Okay, and so you begin to go in the direction, and you can see Castle Grayskull is on not necessarily a peak. You're already very high in the mountains here in Garrett, but you can see it's kind of on a ridge line, and you can keep it in sight as you're going. And after a while, the asphalt becomes gravel, becomes dirt. As the crow flies, there isn't a road that leads to Castle Grayskull. And so at one point very soon, you all kind of are riding through just old deer paths and stuff. As you kind of look up and through the trees, you can see Castle Grayskull. You're dipping down into the washes and popping back up and pedaling equal amounts down and up as you're going. You get to one point and you see that there's just a low valley, and then you can ride a switchback up to Castle Grayskull itself, but you have to dip down into this valley. And as you dip down into this little wash area, this maybe 200-300 yard kind of densely packed trees, out of nowhere, a fog that seems to have been underneath the evergreens permeates until all of a sudden, like a cloud that forgot to wake up here in the mountains, you can barely see each other 2 or 3 feet away. And you quickly realize that riding a bike is dangerous now. So with skids of brakes, you're able to get off and push your bikes, but it's difficult to orient, look around and see where you're going. Because of a fantastic backstory element, I would like to have Ricky roll a force roll, but this is not for hitting or doing anything. This is part of your survival list that you have had.
Can I spend a luck?
You absolutely can. You can re-roll it.
There we
All
go.
right. With 3 successes, you are able to begin to lead everybody. It takes you a second, and you're like, no. Here you can see a washout and a run. That means that's heading from down to up. We need to keep heading in this direction. And all of you actually feel yourselves turned a bit as Ricky correctly moves you back into as the crow flies that you were moving. And so as you begin to creep up this area, Heather, you see leaning against a tree a man with long, almost like feathered black hair. He's got a denim jacket on, denim pants, black t-shirt. And he says, loud enough to the point where it almost makes you shrink back in the forced silence, you hear him say, "Stay quiet, Heather, and I'll let you live."
Does anybody else see him?
No.
I look at my friends.
See who?
Nothing. Never mind.
You okay?
No, I thought I saw something over there.
And she'll look.
Nothing. Ricky, you kind of guide ahead a little bit, and you're lost a bit in the fog as you realize they're not following you anymore, kind of slowed pace a bit as you look back. Heather, go ahead.
I say if he's pulling away and they're just at the edge of vision, he would probably stop and back the bike up towards him.
As Ricky begins to reverse, Heather, as you're looking around, you feel 2 hands grab your handlebars. And when you look straight ahead, you see the man, the hair now hanging down into his face a bit. And he says, "Shh, Heather, you're going to be fine. You'll be fine." And then he looks at the other 3 and kind of shrugs. Prices, inflation's a bitch.
Go away.
Why should I? You're where I live.
You're not here.
Of course I am. He pinches the back of your hand.
Are you the walking man?
He smiles. Call me Randall.
What do you want?
Just 3 things.
3?
He
My
looks at
friends?
Ricky, JD, and Scarlet.
No.
Hmm.
No. No.
We'll see. And he turns and starts to walk off into the fog.
Hey guys. JD, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how that was weird with the tape? With the Walkman?
Uh-huh.
Did you just see him?
Huh? See who?
Did you just see him? No, okay.
Not well. It's kind of foggy, and I already said this is this is some.
Did you ever read the Stand?
No, it's my next one. I just finished it, and this is giving me some. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I think maybe we do need to turn around. I don't know who's in trouble there, but I think we might need to turn around now.
I think I'm thinking she might be onto something, guys.
I know somebody's in trouble, but I think there is something going on here with this with the loop. Somebody's
What
in trouble,
happened?
though.
What?
There was a man.
You guys
the man
look
came,
so freaked out. What happened? And she's gonna walk her bike a little closer.
Freaked out. I mean, look, there's fog and can't see you and can't see anything, and people are saying
no,
things.
there was a man. There was a man right here, and he's a very, very bad man. And he's from a book. Okay, I know it's crazy, but he's from a book. And he's evil, and he wants you guys. He wants to take you guys, and I'm like, and you guys didn't even see him.
She's gonna like lean off her bike, kick the stand down, and she's gonna walk forward into the not like way ahead, but she's gonna walk in front of Heather's bike just to go forward a little bit, see if she can
careful.
see into. There's no one here.
No, he was right here.
Hello.
He was right here.
God.
Everybody roll me an investigate, please.
What did I get here? Ah, shit. Hey, nice. Heather's just gonna continue to see things.
Yeah.
You got good glasses, all right?
That's what I love about this
Yeah.
game. It's almost like, no one believes you. You're like the Cassandra prophecy that everyone's like, what? No, we don't believe you. And then it comes to pass. But so Heather, as you're looking around, you feel that wind that you felt down by the football field come whipping down into the valley. You all witness this fog being literally blown out to the south. You see it kind of wave and ripple around you. All of it, from the high kind of fuming mist to the low-lying clinging fog, is blown past you. And as this happens, Heather, you see Flag exposed as this mist blows away from where he had kind of crept into it. And he looks up towards Castle Grayskull that you now see. And he goes, well, that's not fair at all. And you see him blow away like the mist. And in your ears, all of you, help me, please.
Yeah, just see. This is what you
Guys,
guys heard that, right?
Yeah, we need to help someone.
Yeah.
And he was right there again. You guys believe me, right? He's right there. He's
I
looking
believe
at
you.
Castle Grayskull. We gotta go.
Go which way?
Is he the guy who? Is he the one asking for help?
No, I don't think so. I think
Oh yeah.
I think whoever needs help from him.
Shouldn't we help them though? I mean,
Yeah. Look at. Yes. I mean, we gotta. We got to do this.
I mean, can he hurt us if we're all here together? Like,
Well, if we're all
we can,
together, there's less a chance he can hurt us.
like, if we try something, we can just, like, fight him off, right?
Just as long as we stay together.
Yeah.
Then we
And
stick together.
She'll put her hand on Heather's shoulder. It's like, we'll all stick together. You're not going to be by yourself.
You guys realize
it'll be fine.
This is how every horror movie and book starts, right? Every one of them. Just a group of kids. Oh, we'll figure it out. They never do. But I'll go. If you guys want to go, I'm not going back that way by myself. So if you guys want to go, we need to help this person. But
Well, in the books, they always figure it out in the end.
some of them.
Okay, but this isn't a book. This is real life.
Yeah, that's what makes it more scary. I'm for it. I don't want to argue about not going because I'm not going back that way. I'm just saying, if we're going to stick together, we got to stick together.
We're going to stick together.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone loses sight of the person in front of them in the fog, you need to speak up. We stay close.
Should we just
Push
leave
the
the
bikes.
bikes here?
It's getting harder to ride, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Castle Grayskull only looks like it's about 100 yards up a switchback, just the length of a football field.
Come on, we're so close. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's push the bikes in case we lose them. I mean, finding them back in this fog is not going to be fun.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
And she'll kind of like take the lead first and start walking, pushing her bike.
So everybody, if you want to hit repeat on Union of the Snake, we see our 4 heroes ascending a switchback, each of them walking their mechanical steeds up towards Castle Grayskull. And as we kind of pivot and spin around a bit and come back down, you all reach the building. The building has seen better days, and by that I mean a lot of it is standing ruin. And as soon as you reach the edge of this building, there is a very wide hole. You believe that it used to be a door, but the frame and everything around it has been torn away. You can see inside. There's light from inside, so there's obviously the roof of this place is compromised. Natural light is coming in. Is there anything you would like to do? This is an access, and the wind seems to be coming from this rift.
You find a spot to park our bikes.
Yeah.
How late in the day is it, Greg?
It's taking you a bit. It's probably about 2 p.m.
She's
We've
gonna.
still got,
No, go ahead.
we've still got quite a bit of light, but now's the time to do something here if we're going to do it. Otherwise, I don't want to walk out of here in the dark.
Yeah,
No.
gotta make it fast.
And I'll look at Heather and say, "Is he still here?"
Heather's going to look around.
No need for a roll. You don't see him.
No, he's not here. We should go in and get whoever that is and get him out.
Yeah, let's go.
As you all kind of creep in through this jagged opening, this rift, you realize that you are, even though you're walking in at the ground floor, you're actually on a sort of like a suspended catwalk. You can see down and into the center of the building, which looks like it was deliberately made into a courtyard, the open blue garret sky above. But as soon as you walk in, you can see that on the far end of the courtyard, this is a massive building, so maybe 200 yards away, as it's kind of ringed with this wall, you see a figure walking. I'd like you all to roll investigate for me, please.
I got 1.
Okay, so JD, who has the most hesitant to come this far into the structure or towards Grayskull, as you look, you see that this person is wearing some type of like a blue and purple uniform. It almost looks like a security guard, but as you're looking, you can see that the person is incredibly thin. They're not, it's not like The Walking Dead or anything like
Sure.
that. This isn't a zombie. It's just a very thin individual. But just even with your one success in the distance, you can tell that this, it almost looks like somebody that used to be of a much, I mean, a greater or healthier weight than someone that is this painfully thin now. You can see that he turns around and he almost looks jaundiced in the face, and you can tell it's a man because there's a bit of stubble on the cheeks that looks white in comparison to the jaundiced skin. But because the rest of you didn't roll any investigate successes, you all are aware, basically at the same time, JD included, that there is a man that came in behind you who has a long, wispy gray beard. He seems to be 70, 75, but you all would recognize him as the colloquialism stands, the town drunk by the name of Main Street Jimmy. And he looks at you with one blue eye and one brown eye. I can't believe it. Friends, I knew you'd come.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey.
Jimmy, were you calling us?
Oh, no. I can't keep my mind straight. You don't know me, not yet. No,
What do
You
you mean?
okay, Jimmy?
you all need to get him out of here.
Who?
Ooh.
The ones that they're keeping.
Where?
From the room that you're in, he indicates a hallway to the left and a hallway to the right. You all got to go down there and be brave and get him out. Got to turn the tide, even the odds, give us a fighting chance. I can be in two places at once, but I know you can't. This place is a prison. Bad things that come to Garrett, the good things come too. They put them all here, the good things. You got to free them. Can't keep my mind straight. Does that make sense?
No.
I feel like all four of us are just standing there, like really close together, and we're just like,
you can see that his face has kind of a sheen of dirt on it, and you can see that there are tears that are kind of washing elements of that away. One tear coming from the blue eye, one tear coming from the brown. I don't know how to get you to trust me. You all have to help because you already have. He points to the left hallway. Heather, Jesse, you got go down there. And he points to the right. Scarlet, Ricky, you all have to go down there. I'll stay here and make sure the chief doesn't get you.
This is what I was afraid of, guys.
he said the chief.
And he creeps up, kind of, if you allow him to, he kind of creeps among you. And he looks at that figure that JD saw across. And he goes, that's old Chief Rugen. He came up here after what happened last year. And when this thin figure turns with its purple outfit on, you can see on the chest Rugen, and you can tell that it is a Garrett PD uniform.
So we would know that he kind of like disappeared after a bit.
And you would
Yeah.
also know that he was wanted for the murder of a local
Mhm.
boy.
Yeah. Guys, I saw him, and then he walked in behind us. He's wanted for murder. He just like this is, and he wants us to split up. This might be too. This is getting something.
Jimmy, we know we need to do something here. But I don't think we're gonna split up.
He
It's
looks
easier
at
to sneak. Sorry,
Yeah,
it's easier to sneak if there's only two of us walking at a time. It's difficult with four.
That's what Ricky said before. Trust me, you'll be able to see each other. The river's between you.
What river?
The one down below.
If we look down the hole, is
You
what?
can barely hear the sound of rushing water.
Would we have known that there would have been water underneath this building like that?
Set where it is against the edge of a cliff, there
Yeah.
really shouldn't
So it's
be.
probably like sewers or something like that. Be like, guys.
It definitely sounds like water. I mean, you can speculate, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't know about,
Yeah, just hearing that, I'd be like, guys, Pennywise hangs out in like sewers and around water and things, and trap kids and stuff. If what Heather's saying is true, then why couldn't Pennywise also exist? I don't know. Written by the same person? It's weird.
You're right,
What?
but do we trust Jimmy?
When you say Pennywise, Jimmy
fuck
looks
me.
Jimmy looks right at you, JD, and says, "He's not here. Not yet."
What do you've seen him before? You've seen him here before?
Yeah, but it was summertime.
You're
Okay.
JD, you're putting ideas in his head.
Why ideas are being put in my head? I don't know.
He didn't bring up Pennywise until you did.
Okay.
Optimus Prime comes in a month, I think.
Okay.
Okay,
And
maybe-
we
I
know
didn't say that.
we know who Jimmy is. Is this a normal behavior for him?
You would know Jimmy, and this is in a small town. Anybody that fits Jimmy's description, unfortunately, has a lot said about them.
Sure.
And you would know that the only real things is that Jimmy is from Garrett, and he's also a veteran of Vietnam, and that a lot of his behavior is attributed to both his addiction problems and some of his mental health issues are attributed to that war that he took part in Southeast Asia. He has never been known to be violent. He's accepted by the community. Many people have tried to help him. It's just that this is pretty much how he is. And, he points to the right hallway. He goes, Scarlett and Ricky, and to the left, JD Heather.
I think we should go. He's talking really weird, and it's not like he usually does.
You're right.
I promise I'll keep you safe.
You guys know him better than me, so.
Okay, well let's go. There's somebody needs our help, so we should go.
Yeah, just and we kind of like start turning towards the right. Like, just shout if we need help, just shout, and then the other people will come running back to each other. Okay.
All right, guys, be careful because Randall Flagg, he really wants. I don't know.
If we see anyone, we'll.
Yeah, go the other way.
Okay.
Should we
I
set
promise.
a time frame to meet back? Should we meet back here? How do we want to do it?
5 minutes.
Maybe 10.
Jimmy looks down on a wristwatch that looks ancient, but it also looks slightly modern and has a cracked face on it. You can meet back here at 2:23 or 2:28.
JD will pull out his pocket watch and he'll flip it open, and he'll look at the clock, and whatever time, is there, it'll be like, okay, we have this many minutes or whatever. And on the inside, if anyone like looks at it, there's a picture of a woman. She's blonde, like a little bit more heavy set, but you guys probably wouldn't have seen her yet or know who that is. And then I'll close and be like, okay, we have 10 minutes. Let's hurry and we'll get back.
Careful, guys. Be safe.
We will.
As you all kind of enter your respective tunnels or hallways, Jimmy says, "Hey," and he looks at all of you equally, kind of gazing back and forth. "Thank you, friends. Thank you. It means a lot."
You're welcome, Jimmy. We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
And yeah, he blinks back with his one blue eye and his one brown eye, and "I'll stay here and watch." And you see him kind of hunker down, eyeing Chief Rugen from 200 yards away that he is.
You keep an eye on him, Jimmy. Let us know if he comes after us.
He doesn't look away and just puts a thumb up over his shoulder.
Hey, come on, Ricky. Let's go.
Who's Pennywise?
He's a
clown
yeah.
from a book. I haven't read it, but it sounds like a movie.
Not yet.
Okay.
I don't read books. Unless the school tells me to read it, I'm not reading it.
Stay away from bad things and people you don't know, all right?
Sounds
Stranger danger.
Try
Got it.
not to think of things that you're afraid of.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Let's go, JD.
She's just gonna flip her football in her hand and just kind of tuck it under her arm and keep walking.
Okay, so as you split off and go in your respective directions, as Scarlett and Ricky head to the right, and as JD and Heather head to the left, everybody, as you are descending, roll me a investigate as you go deeper into Castle Grayskull.
I somehow succeeded with one die.
That's the way it works. Okay, so Ricky, you're the first to kind of catch this, but everybody else eventually catches it. He just does it a couple steps ahead of everyone else. You can hear the increasing sound of rushing water. This is almost a roar as you hear this incredible transportation of fluid. As it goes from right to left, you kind of explode into an area that has this sluiceway that is carrying this silvery water, this barely lit liquid that's lit by these blue electric lights, very odd neon blue lights that kind of extend along these catwalks. As soon as you all get out onto the catwalks, you look to the one group to the right, the other group to the left, and you can see each other. You are about 30 yards across with this silvery liquid kind of sploshing and slashing. You can tell that it's moving at an incredible rate. But again, because of the earlier things that you've deduced, you're on a cliff face. Where would this water be coming from? It's not evident where it's running to. It should be shooting out through the face of the cliff and descending like a waterfall. But of course, that feature is not part of the Garrett landscape. As you get in there, you all begin to get, and Ricky first, this slight taste of copper in the air, this almost a metallic taste that you can kind of feel, and you suspect it's probably part of the mist that's being kicked up by this water. You also realize that if you attempt to communicate with the group on the right or the group on the left, you can see one another, but your words are lost over this roar. On each side, you can talk to each other, but communication across the gap, it's well nigh impossible. If everyone could cue up the song Electric Blue by Icehouse, now would be a good time to do so.
Ricky would turn to Scarlett and say, "We need to keep an eye back. We're probably going to struggle to hear them. Just to see if every now and then look back."
And you're on
Yeah.
a parallel course too. So as you go on the catwalk, if you look straight over, you can see the other group. Now if you go faster or slower, then you would break that. But it seems that both of your paths are going in the same direction, just 30 yards apart, with this silvery water rushing through.
Yeah,
Let's
we won't
Okay.
keep you. We won't let them out of our sight.
Okay. And how do you all convey that to one another? Like the two, I know that you can talk to each other, but how to group, how do you convey?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you all kind of walk on the guide rails, constantly looking over at the other group, let's stick with the right side first. After about 50, 60 yards, you reach the destination of this catwalk. And there is a strange machine that is lightly kind of frosted with this water, the mist of this water. It seems to be part computer and part combustion engine. It sits dark, but beside it, in like a crystal vat, is what looks like liquid, this glowing blue, vibrant liquid. And you realize it's the same color as the lights above you. And each of you on the right side, Scarlet and who are my right side again, Scarlet and Ricky, roll me an investigate, please. Okay.
Can I give my +1 to Ricky for my leadership?
I got a 1.
Yeah, he got
I
one.
succeeded.
Yeah, with that was your second one with 1, right? I love it. D6. Awesome. Okay, so you both get this. What you see is, as you kind of move towards this Frankensteinian machine, you see written in chalk on the floor, start the machine, make a key. And then there's a space, and Scarlet, written in your own hand, it says bombs away, Scarlet.
She's gonna point. Look at this.
Yeah.
That's my handwriting. That's my name.
Have you been here before?
No.
Ricky, where it says start the machine and make a key, that's your handwriting.
Not to alarm you, Scarlet, but that looks like my handwriting.
She's gonna turn to Ricky. What's going on? Jimmy said that we had been here before.
And that I had said something before. Maybe this is us telling ourselves to do something?
That's weird.
Do we start the machine?
As the right
you're,
side
you're
is
the mechanic.
right, as the right side is looking at one another in wonder, we go over to the left side, and as you reach the identical point across from the right team, you see an open space on your side as well, but instead of it all being catwalk, there is a large element of the space on your side that's actually part of the stone. And roll me an investigate for the two of you, or a comprehend I will take as well.
I'll do investigate.
Comprehend is a little better, so we'll try that, of course.
Oh, you weren't talking to me.
No, that's perfectly fine though. I can use that for a moment. Heather, with your 1 investigate, you can feel a wind coming from this area. You realize it's the same breeze, the same wind that you felt at the football field miles away down in Garrett. As you both move you're not out of eyesight or of the other team, but you're moving kind of away from the edge of the railing, away from the water. As you get in there, you realize that there are 2 pits in this room, and they have bars over top of them. And beside or between both of these pits, there is an odd metal, almost like a tab, and you would swear that it looks like a coin slot at the arcade. As you're watching, you see a hand reach up through one of the grates. It's got caramel colored skin, about the size of it's not an adult hand. It's definitely like a teen's hand that reaches up. Help.
Heather runs over to the grates and looks in. Kneels down.
Are you going to the one with the hand or without the hand?
With
first?
the hand. With the hand.
As you run over, you look in and you see a girl of 13 looking back up at you. She seems to be, dirty from the situation. This is definitely a prison of some sorts. And as she looks up, she says, Are you here to take me back to my tree?
Does her voice sound like the voice that we heard before?
Yes.
I don't know where your tree is, but we're gonna get you out of here. Hey JD, this is the person. This is the girl we have to help.
Yeah. This is way more real than I was hoping it would be. How do we get her out?
I don't know. Hey, did you see the little girl? Do you know what's your name? I'm Heather.
She looks up and smiles, and you see a little bit of light come into her eyes as there are dark circles beneath them. And she picks up her shirt and holds it up, and she says, I'm Van Halen.
Okay, Van Halen. Do you know how to open the grates?
You see her hand come up and point towards that arcade slot between the two. The key goes in there.
The key? What key? Where do we get the key?
And her hand turns and points in the direction of Scarlett and Ricky. You see on the pit beside, you see another pair of hands come up and grab the bar, and you hear another voice. Hello?
Oh shit, Heather, there's more.
Hi, hello? Who are you?
When you look into the pit, a small, maybe 14-year-old face looks up and says, my name's Chris. And he has one blue eye and one brown eye. Let's cut back over to Ricky and Scarlett. You have a machine in front of you. And as you're sitting there, the electric lights across the top of this structure begin to walk. You see them and they start to get faster and faster. What would you like to do?
Is there an obvious way to turn on the machine that's half PC and half...
My friend, roll me a tinker check. I will remind you that at this time, you may push.
Leadership.
Yes, there's leadership, there's pushing, there's luck, there is pride. If you want to guarantee success, it is. With one success, it takes you just a couple seconds. Faster and faster. But as you see it, it's almost rudimentary. One dial turns, and as it hits a certain catch and a give, you see one of these, again, Frankensteinian levers that are beside shakes a little bit. And taking a chance, Ricky, you grab and pull it down. And as you do, the vat of blue energy sloshes and flows into the machine. What does Ricky do when the machine in front of him bursts into a brilliant blue light? Like explodes. Every aspect of the machine is now glowing a bright blue.
I think the brightness would shock him. He'd probably take a couple steps back and then get excited. Ricky's a big fan of machines and would be keen to see what it's doing, how it's working.
And Scarlett would be like, like covering her face, like, "Whoa, good job! You turned it on."
As you all celebrating, yeah, and as you know, Ricky's like, "Fuck yeah, man! Look at this thing's blowing up."
Yeah, and she's like, yes, and she like whacks him on the shoulder.
A completely opaque panel appears and lowers down like a drawbridge, and sitting in the middle of this obsidian drawbridge, this panel, this there is a small blue coin that is glowing just like the machine around. And let's cut back over to the left-hand side. On the left-hand side is Heather and JD are sitting there. The face with the blue eye and the brown eye looks up and says, you got to hurry. There's not much time before it resets. And the lights. And the girl known as Van Halen pulls herself up and looks directly at JD. I know you can catch it this time.
Oh.
What do you mean? What do I have to catch?
Cut over to the right-hand side. You see this coin pops out, and it had said, "Start the machine and make a key." No need for a roll here. Scarlett and Ricky, you can figure out this must be a key. What do you do?
Bombs away, apparently. And I handed the key over to Scarlett.
What do I do with it? Bombs
Let's
away
cut
where?
let's cut over to the left. JD and Heather, what do you do as you're all coming to this realization as the lights are across the top? You can see your friends. You can't talk.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of looking around, and does Van Halen give me any inclination that Scarlett or Ricky would have what we need?
She pointed.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get up and start jumping and trying to get their attention.
And she'll look, hey.
And I'm just screaming as loud as I can, we need the key. We need the key.
You can't hear that, but you can see the telltale universal symbol for I'm open.
Yeah. Then she's just gonna look at Ricky's like, throw it to him?
Any chance we've got tape? Tape the key to the ball. You had your ball with you.
Both of you roll me let's go with a comprehend here, I think. Yeah.
I'm gonna spend. I can't spend my. I'm gonna spend one of my own luck though. On this. Did it roll? It didn't roll. Oh, there we go.
One success. Yay. Okay, so success as you're looking at this and takes a second. The lights ahead, getting faster and faster, and you look at your football and you look at this coin, and you realize that you could slip it beneath the laces.
Yep, and I'm definitely going to do that. Okay. And she's going to click the coin in her hand and then stuff it under the laces. It's like, okay. And she's gonna make eye contact with JD. And she's like, okay, bombs away. And she's gonna line up and chuck.
Yep. And as soon as you pick up the coin and slip it beneath, as soon as your fingers touch this, though, you feel that breeze kind of hit you. But instead of the voice that you heard before, the help me, you hear bombs away. As you tuck it into the laces and you move back. Let's cut to Heather, though, before the pass is actually thrown. Heather, as you are standing there, let me see. Let's go with Never Tear Us Apart, everybody, by NXS. Everything is slowing down. Even the lights in the ceiling, they were now they dong 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 dong, almost sound like church bells. And you see Randall Flagg leaning up against the catwalk railing, and he slowly starts to move towards JD.
Heather will stand up and run forcibly towards Randall Flag. Yeah.
Roll me a force. And
This
you
is really
have
terrible.
luck, and you have pride if you want to use it here. Totally up to you.
And you have leadership. You have leadership.
And you have leadership from across the void.
So wait, leadership would be 1 dice.
One die. Yep.
1 dice. And then the pride.
And what's your iconic item? Is there anything we want to? Anything we can fit into
The
this?
only thing that I can imagine with her iconic item is her glasses, and so maybe, she can see him super clearly. I don't know if that's what we're gonna do, but
I tell you what, I will let you do this if you take the glasses off and put them away.
All right, so she's not hiding anymore. So that's another 2. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Let's give this a go. No! Can I try luck?
You absolutely can, yeah.
All right. Well, 1 success.
So you run forward, and at this point, I need a force roll from Scarlet, and I need a move roll from JD. I will again remind that luck is in play. I will again remind that you can use your pride here if you'd like. But JD, you get an extra die because Heather is helping by keeping Randall Flag off of you.
Okay.
And you actually see this man with the long black hair as soon as Heather grabs him. And as Heather is roaring in his face, she can speak. The ball is thrown.
So how does pride work?
You just tell me you want to use it, and once a session, you get an automatic success.
Yeah, I'll just use it because I think it's going to be, I got to get these people out of here.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to use my pride as well.
Okay, then you two tell me the scene. How does the throw go? How does the catch go?
Well, Scarlet is definitely, she flicks the coin into the air and catches it, and then she tucks it into the laces, and she's just like, and she just takes really like a deep breath and is like, "Bombs away," she whispers, and then she winds up and takes her 3 steps back, and then keeps her eye on JD and just winds and goes, and then whoosh, and lets it fly.
Everybody, as soon as the ball leaves Scarlet's fingers, I'd like you to play Eye of the Tiger by Survivor for me, please.
Hell yeah. I think it's a pretty spot on throw. It might be just a little bit further, almost like as close to as a reenactment of the play that happened earlier in the day, just a little bit. And it just lands perfectly, catch it over my shoulder. And then as I'm looking at it, I see the coin and I know like exactly what to do with it. I'm running back over there to unlock it.
As you rush over the lights in the top, dun, 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 until they're almost solid. They're jumping so fast. They look like lightning bolts along the top of this sluiceway. And JD, as you get there, Ricky, let's cut over to you as you're looking at the machine now, and you see Scarlet heave this ball in a perfect spiral across this area. As you look up, beyond the machine, you can see that the end wall, the far end wall of this sluiceway has turned the same color. And you see this rush, this wave of blue energy coming up towards you. You are the only one that could see it at this moment because you are looking at the machine. What do you do?
I'm not going to be able to communicate to the others. I think what Ricky would do is try and pull Scarlet down behind the machine to try and brace from whatever that is, assuming it's going to hit us and hit us hard. So as she launches the ball before it's landed, grab her, pull her down and tuck her into the machine and say something's coming, and just brace.
And that's exactly what's happening as Scarlet, you feel yourself pulled down. And as you're being pulled down, you can see this wave of blue coming. You make the catch, JD. Heather, you're holding back Randall Flag. He's looking surprised at that you actually did it. And there is a measure of respect in the evil being's eyes as he looks at you, kind of cocking his head. Maybe if there were a scoreboard like the one of the football field earlier, it has just gone Heather 1, flag 0. As he looks at you, is there anything you say or do other than just hold back?
She's going to no, she's quiet. She's just going to hold him back and keep pushing.
And you do. You're able to keep him away. JD, as you caught the ball and you see the key, the coin, you said you slam it home, right? Oh,
Yep, doing it as fast as possible. Just trying to get it done because I know they said, you have a certain amount of time and the lights are going. So,
right. And as you snag the ball, you're able to bring it down and slam the coin home. And as you do, both cage doors retract into the stone. And Van Halen pulls herself up and she reaches in and pulls Chris out of his. And she looks at you, JD, and says, "Thank you." She goes, and Chris says, "The reset is coming, but we're free. Stay safe, my friends.
Go. Like trying to get him out.
And as that wave comes rushing towards you, Van Halen stops and listens and goes, "I love this song." And the wave hits all of you. Everyone, if you could cue up Nothing But a Good Time for me, please. It is 11:33 a.m., Saturday, October 8th, 1988, 53 degrees, clear, sunny sky. Ollie Wright is turning back to see who Fred Alt is waving to. Ricky, you don't know how, but you're back here. What do you do?
Ricky would look to Heather and go, "Is it just me, or have we done this before?"
Done it before, and he's still a jerk.
Still a jerk. And you still don't have an apple. And he waves to Fred. Same as before.
Okay. And as soon as he sees that, you see Ollie's mouth open with the insult that you know is coming. In fact, you know what the insult is. He's going to make fun of, call you Dickie and make fun of your horse being fueled by apples because of Fred's culture. But do you say anything at this point? You have a moment before he says something to you.
He would say, "Hey, Ollie, it's Dickie. We're good." And sit back down.
He stops. All right. He turns and sits back down. Let's cut to the sideline. Coach Cook and Tom Hoffman are standing there as Coach Cook is saying, "All right, everybody, listen, I want you to do your best." He's screaming at everyone. Scarlett, you know what's coming. What do you do this time?
She'll just she'll wait until Coach has let him go, and then she'll walk up to Tom, and she's not gonna talk really loud. She's gonna talk quietly, so just to, not to embarrass his fragile ego, and she's just gonna lean up and go, "You have to watch The Blind Side. They've been testing Joe all morning. They're gonna throw a stunt. They're gonna blitz. When your back is turned, watch out. The ball, you gotta let go of the ball fast, or you're gonna get creamed."
Tom looks down at you, and unfortunately, this is still what he believes to be an assault on his ego. And he goes to actually kind of push you out of his face. But as he does so, just as he kind of does a shove, Hanks, the shorter second string quarterback, Tom just didn't see him. Nobody ever sees Hanks. and you hear the pop as Tom Hoffman's finger gets caught in the face mask of Hank's and dislocates as he looks down, and his pointer finger is, and the coach looks in horror. My God, Tommy, what happened? And Tom says nothing except, it happened on the last play, coach. I don't think I can throw. Hanks vomits, and Coach Cook turns to Scarlett as everybody on the team, including JD, war beaten, but still 12 seconds left on the clock. All eyes go to Scarlett. Scarlett, I want you to roll a leadership roll for me, please. And pushing is allowed here, and
Yeah,
all that
well,
good stuff. You don't have to push until after or use a luck.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Sorry, what's the roll?
Leadership, please.
Lead. Let's go. Yeah.
And as you look, everybody sort of, for a moment, there's this, oh crap. And then one by one, the offensive lineman nod, the running back nods, and they all put their hands into the center waiting for JD and Scarlett before they go back out to the middle of the field.
And she'll put her hand in.
Yeah, I'm like, I look to her, I'm like, you got this.
And she just nods. So come on, guys, let's go. And she'll put her hand in.
They all are, as they can't yell out like F yeah, because coach there would kill him, but they want to. There's a lot of like yeahs that certainly sound like they should have an F in front of them, but like, oh yeah, baby, they get all fired up and they run back out. And you hear the crowd, Heather and Ricky that are in the stands, you hear the entire crowd react to the fact that Scarlett's running out on the field. There's from Mr. Hoffman from the cheap seats to watch his son, what happened to my boy? And there's, consternation and stuff that's happening. But then the cheers erupt from both sides as you hear people that are, a lot of people that are have never seen a girl take the field at this level are clapping from both Frost Ridge and, of course, the entirety of Edgar Allan Poe Middle. Everybody. Because this is the song that needs to happen right now. I would like to have Sweet Child of Mine start playing as you all cross out into the field. Ricky, Heather, you see Scarlett going out. And as you take the position, you know what's going to happen, Scarlett. You've seen it before you saw it the first time. There's a blitz coming. JD, you know what happened the first time. Walk me through it, my friends.
Yeah, I think as we're running out there to get lined up, I tell her exactly, what I'm going to do. It's like, I'm going to juke inside. He's going to bite. I'm going to run outside. All you got to do is throw it over my shoulder and we got this. We win this game.
I got you. Don't worry. And then she's gonna elbow Joe, her left tackle, and be like, don't stop moving your feet. They're going to blitz. They're going to run a stunt and blitz from the outside. Do not stop moving your feet.
He ain't been blitzing all day. He's just moving side to side.
Yeah, and do you think he's going to keep doing that forever? Come on.
All right. Joe.
Yeah, and I back her up. I was like, move your feet. Just do it.
All right. And Joe moves over to his left tackle as you signal the break, and Edgar Allan Poe lines up as they're looking across at Frost Ridge, and you see the linebacker pretend like he's dropping and then slowly creep forward, and the ball is hiked. Again, no need for a roll because you did it before. You know what you're doing here. Joe does not move his feet. He thinks about it. He gets a little closer than he did the first time, but maybe thinking about it is what got Joe in trouble this time. And the linebacker is running free. Scarlet, I need a force roll from you to make this throw. And I'm going to ask the entire group, Ricky, Heather, JD, if you have any luck, you may give it to Scarlet.
You have my luck. One.
Yeah, you got one for me too.
I also have one more luck, and I have my iconic item.
Okay. Let it fly.
So how many bonus is that?
2 for the
At least-
iconic item and 3
Yeah.
for the luck.
5.
There
Oh
you go.
god. Oh dear god.
Listen, this D6 system's a real mess, so this might not
Yeah.
be good. Okay.
It might not be good. Okay,
You got
let's
this.
go. No, I'm gonna get creeped.
How many?
Nothing.
I know, but how many lucks did you have in there?
There were three
Three.
lucks.
3 plus
lucks,
2
2
iconic item.
item. Okay. So here's how we're going to play this off. I'm going to let you push it, but you're taking a condition.
Yep.
Okay. You can roll the
Scarlet
same
has
amount
luck.
again.
Scarlet had luck, no?
I used it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you get to do the same roll, use your luck again, but this is the conditions are in play now.
Yep. +5. Let's go. There we go. Jesus.
So here's how this plays out. Scarlet, as you drop back and you realize that Slow Joe did not get his feet moving. It's in the name. You see that linebacker running, and where Tom Hoffman threw early and curled up to protect himself, you take the extra second. You let JD get wide open as you let it fly. And the entire crowd sees as just as the ball leaves your hand, Scarlet's whole body bends back as she gets crunched and driven into the ground, her pristine uniform stained with mud and grass. JD, because I'd already had this written down, I want you to roll a move roll at +5, the same that your quarterback had.
Let's
Okay.
go.
So 5 bonus dice. Move. Here we go.
Oh,
Same thing applies here.
All right.
Come
So is it using a? Yeah, I'll just roll it here. There we go. 2 of 10. God
And as the narrative, I said it long ago, the dice tell the story. As you reach up, everyone sees that safety clip again. And this time you helicopter, but you stay in bounds as you spin just ass over tea kettle, but you land back on your feet. And with one leap, you cross over and into the end zone as 6 points go up on the board. Edgar Allan
Yeah.
Poe
Oh, yeah.
wins by 1. And as you hit that safety that was beaten, comes in, and it's not a cheap shot. He was moving and almost kind of got his feet tripped up. He falls, and again, you feel your bell rung as his helmet cracks against yours, and you go face down into the end zone. Heather, this is the same thing that happened before. He's just a little further inbounds this time as you see JD crumple. And as luck would have it, you and Ricky are still the closest to them because of your position in the stands.
once again, Heather runs straight through the crowd of cheerleaders on her way over to JD.
You hear Peggy Swanson
Ricky.
as
No,
Yeah,
JD.
JD, you hear Peggy Swanson as she arms up we won. This isn't as she's getting ready to say something to you that you know is coming. Is there anything that you say this time, Heather?
She says, "Not now. Come with me and help."
And 3 of the other cheerleaders, there's 8 in total, but 3 of them say, we really should help. And they run after you, Heather. Now, 3 is better than nothing. And it seems a couple of them actually were swayed by but you, Heather, you are the first person again to get to JD's side as you kind of get there. And this time, Edgar Allan Poe is charging down in this direction. because of JD's heroics. Scarlet, Joe picks you up and lifts you up, and he and the right tackle put you on their shoulder. And Joe looks up and says, "He's really fast."
She just whacks him on the shoulder on the shoulder pad. It's okay, Joe. It's okay.
And as your uniform is completely messed up, it rivals, JD's now. Ricky, you see Heather down with JD. JD's in the end zone, preparing to be mobbed by all of this. You feel wind. I need you to roll me an investigate, please.
Not the investigates. Somehow got a success
At
again.
that! Look at that! I love that. So, Ricky, as you stand up, and the crowd has actually moved out of the stands, and you're kind of alone for a moment, standing there. You see your friends, you see the difference a few hours makes, and you hear on the wind that voice of Van Halen. Thank you, and stay ready. And that's where we'll end this session of Atari Twilight.
Jesus.
That was fun.
That
man.
was so
That
great.
was killer.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you ever so much, Greg. That was amazing.
Oh, I love these characters. You all sent me great backstories, and I'm like, these characters are awesome. Garrett, Maryland we have our Tuesday night team that has just fantastic stuff going on, and I wanted to be able, because you all contributed so much to help us put Garrett back together, kind of in the writers' room, to be able to add something to this. And bringing Van Halen back is the crew will have access to Van Halen soon. And so that is all because of you all. So I thank you very much. Disembodied voice Mike, would you like me to walk everybody around and they can tell us about themselves? Or you can do it.
I'm here, Greg. I'll
I'm going to go ahead and say, let's walk around and talk to everybody.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Bacon, my friend, how are you?
So
how did you
man.
like it? And where can we find you online?
Yeah, that was so much fun. At the beginning, when Mike reached out, I was nervous because I wanted to make sure that I did Atari Twilight, justice, and I really loved the first season. So I had a blast, man. It was so much fun, and it was. I've never role played with any of you guys before, and it felt seamless. It felt easy, and that makes it so much better. Online, you can find me on Twitter at Bacon50. I also do a podcast called The Neighbors Podcast. I haven't put out an episode kind of since COVID started because of social distancing and everything. I do it with a couple buddies, but that will happen eventually. But yeah, that's where you can find me. That's what I'm doing.
Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic. And let's jump over to Melissa. Melissa, how are you, my friend? How was it to jump into Heather's dark garb? And where can we find you online?
Wow. So I don't even know what to say. I guess very much like JD, or sorry, Bacon. I was a little nervous going into this, but I'm just astounded at how freely it all flowed. You're just a master at storytelling too. Thank you very much for that. And it's also just been fantastic to sit and look at the faces of the rest of the community members here that I've gotten to interact with, in unMadeGaming's Discord. So just an amazing story. Thanks again for that. You can find me as a Drafteer on any social media, but I don't really do anything except hang out as a fan. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. I loved everything about Heather, and I'm sure you knew something was up whenever I asked you a couple days ago, what would Heather's favorite book be? I'm like, if a corruption bar happens, I'm throwing in flag. Okay,
That's
so
awesome.
that was great. Awesome. Alrighty, Chris, how are you, my friend? And how did you like jumping into the fixer's life and letting Ricky do his thing? And where can we find you online?
That was fantastic. I absolutely loved every second of that. I'm Chris. I play as Necrotic online, on Twitch, and Necrotic on everything else. Haven't streamed in ages, but will at some point again in the future. But effectively, you'll find me in the Discord where I don't really shut up for the most part. But yeah, absolutely loved it, Greg. Thank you so much. It was like living back in the 80s.
Thank you, my friend. And last but certainly not least, G, how was Scarlet? How was your time in the 80s, and where can we find you online?
Oh, it was so much fun. And like Bacon said, I was actually more nervous than I thought I was going to be. Like going the whole week up to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to fucking kill this. I'm going to be awesome. This is going to be so much fun. And then when Mike is like, okay, we're live, and Mike's doing the intro, I'm like, ooh. But like, yeah, because Atari Twilight means a lot to me as a story. So I was like, oh man, this is a lot of pressure. And seeing everyone in chat, I was like, ooh, no pressure at all. But no, it was a lot of fun. I got to relive some more football glory, which is always fun. And yeah, but yeah, I'm G or Georgia. I'm Lightning Spaz 09 on Twitter and Lightning Invoker on the Discord and on Twitch. And you can find me at those places pretty much all the time. So I'm always there to say hi at all hours of the day.
Fantastic. And I would just like to say that if you all were nervous, no one could tell. You were like seasoned pros jumping into 1988. I think a lot of you, this is the first or second time you've played this system. You all did so second time. There we go. Yeah. Oh, wow, right. And yeah, I absolutely love the characters. I thought your portrayal of them was spot on. It was so great. And mentioning of the Discord is a great way to segue. Everyone, I met all of these lovely folks in the Discord at unMadeGaming, in the Atari Twilight, what we call the writer's room. We like to, if I run into something, I need help with an NPC or a place or even some bit of flair or flavor from the 80s in Garrett, Maryland. Everybody here and everybody that's in the writer's room, Doozer and everybody, they come in and they help me out, and it's great and it's collaborative the way good stories, or hopefully good stories are. And I couldn't thank these four people enough, and of course Mike. But as for me, I'm Greg. I'm not on social media at all, except in the Discord. So jump in there and we can talk the 80s, and we can get things ready. And who knows? I would certainly like to see this group back together again at some point and contribute and continue their story in Garrett, Maryland. So we'll leave that one up to unMadeGaming.
That would be amazing. That would be so much fun.
Well, I am back. So this was super awesome. Thank you all for being here. Everyone you see here, besides Greg, I guess Greg too, is an amazing, wonderful member of the community here. And like he said, they were in the Discord, they were chatting, they were helping to make the story. So if you want chances to be in games like this, the Discord is the best place to do that. These faces are also our patrons, and I think a good, at least half of them are in our Patreon one-shot tier. You saw them last week playing some more Tales from the Loop. So if you guys want a chance to play in those games with the community, that's the best ways to do it. That's it. That's all I have. Thank you so much. This was amazing. And on that note, I think I'm going to leave us with a possible teaser. Season 3. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.